Test, test, testing. One, two, three. Mic check. Test, test, test.
Good morning, Speaker.
Kasirilia, Masai.
Regarding the vaccination mandate, is it okay if we just insert a bit of changes? Only FSM citizens can enter without their vaccines. Other than FSM citizens, they need to comply with the required.
Well, additionally, if we're going Mr. Speaker, I acknowledge that not all members of Congress are created equal, but all members of Congress should be treated equally. So if Urusamal gets a fan, I want to get a fan too, even though I don't need it. Sangon pilingin soy. Tonangin sakon, po sakon troro ingin soyutan. Pon pay delegation may pan tre katame. Me ko tuya. Trip tayo pan paranwod. May pangatin sipur kaniela mo iprap pa. We amendment it didn't dawn on me what it was I was doing until just now.
What is that? Tamo kamban.
Moninal kau yale ngay kilang nan pilo sang ni hydro plant to ko talelel ni water dam o ekisong airkan. But that's all of us we should have talked about that first. And I would not be, my kak race issue with it.
Masay. Huwag natin session. So, center mo pong masabi yan.
And the 300,000.
So it seems like we only have 7 members.
There's one snailing down. Just now I see him coming over. I hope Senator Isaac Figueroa and Senator Kulan didn't both get mad and leave the island after yesterday. Oh, in the past 3 weeks, we've lost maybe 4 or 5 air-conditioned units at the hotel with the power surge. Something we have no recourse to recoup cost for. as PUC said, they're not responsible.
Can you undo that 20% where you take it from PUC?
Okay, maybe we can start. I hereby call the 8th day of the first regular session of the 23rd Congress to order. May we all rise for a moment of silent prayer. Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Abelo Alfonso,
Amen. Good morning, everybody.
Senator Aritos,
Yes.
Senator Christian, Senator Figuer, Senator Colland, Senator Harper, Senator Conman,
Nesarani,
Nasarani, Madam Chair, Floor Leader Lawrence, Vice Speaker Romulo,
Amen.
Senator Rusamal, Senator Wali, Speaker Moses. Mr. Speaker, 9 members are present.
For that, we have a quorum. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Item 4, reading of the journal, Mr. Speaker.
Floor Leader.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that move to dispense the reading of the journal.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress dispense with the reading of the journal. No objection, we will vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried. Congress is now dispensed with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're now on item 5, presidential communications. We are in receipt of numbers 23-01 to number 23-04.
Thank you, Chief Clerk. Madam Chair, Conman, I think presidential communication number 1 and also number 2 for members' info. The signing of the compact will be here in Pohnpei sometime next week, no longer out of country. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. FSM Supreme Court communications for item 6. As of now, we do not have any, Mr. Speaker.
Continue.
Item 7, member communications, none also, Mr. Speaker. Item 8, departmental communications. We are in receipt of 1 and it's number 23-03.
I'll sign that.
Item 9, agency or governmental authority communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item 10, state communications, none also. Item 11, state Supreme Court communications, we do not have any, Mr. Speaker. Item 12, municipal or town communications, none. Item 13, foreign government communications, none, Mr. Speaker. And item number 14, miscellaneous communications, we do not have any, Mr. Speaker.
Order of the day.
Speaker,
Chairman Rusmal, you have the floor.
thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move for a short recess.
Short recess.
And with that, Mr. Speaker, I wish to ask our illustrious legal counsel if among the President's communication Preston Siminas Communication. If the act that this Congress has been waiting for to move on some pending bills is included in any of these communications.
I'm sorry, I do not have that information, and my colleague would have that information, but he's not here.
This one, I mean, if they, 2303, that's, do we know if it includes the act that we're waiting for?
It's not included yet. It hasn't come up yet.
Do we have a liaison man between this house and that house?
Yeah, we called yesterday, and the information we got was that it was still under review by Finance and TCNI.
Which one, the liaison or the act?
The act.
How many weeks has been since the special?
Almost 2, not quite 2 yet.
What, they're checking any period or question mark or grammar and all of that? Thank you, Speaker.
You're good? Let's go back. Congress is back in session. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under the order of the day, the first item is item 15, Standing Committee Reports. We do not have any, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 16, Special Committee Reports, none also, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 17, for assignment of measures and communications, please refer to referral sheet number 23-05.
Chairs and members, please take note of the referral sheet number 23-05. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Unfinished business for item 18. As of now, we do not have any, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 19, Bill Calendar. The first bill under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 23-05 for first reading. CB number 23-05 is a bill for an act to amend Section 3 of Public Law number 22-153 as amended by Public Laws numbers 22-169, 22-181, and 22-204 to appropriate $700,000 from the General Fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2023, to provide supplemental funding for the operations of the legislative branch of the national government and for other purposes.
Short recess.
Speaker, maybe we just wait a little bit on this or defer to tomorrow? There's only meow members.
Or if there are amendments, we can we not move on the amendments and then defer on first reading?
Okay.
I'd like to understand that we need 10 to pass, but only 9 is okay to amend the bill. Is that okay?
According to legal counsel, yes, we can do that.
Don't we have to pass the bill first?
No, because we'll have to discuss, and during discussion, they can offer the amendment.
We can pass the amendment and then we go to first reading. And if we pass the amendment after first reading, then we're going to need to suspend the rules because it will be for second reading. Let's go back. Congress is back in session. Chief Clerk.
That's why I said what I said.
I think I like Kulan's amendment better than yours. Kulan's the bill that this one is proposing to amend.
Golan's amendment was in yesterday's package.
Let's go back. Congress is back in session. We're now on the bill calendar, and first bill is CB number 23-05. Any motion for passage?
Short recess again, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess.
The item for discussion now is the proposed amendment by,
No, we're waiting for a motion for passage on first reading.
oh,
And when we adopt this amendment and it
Then we
becomes
defer.
CD1, the floor leader will move
To
to
defer.
defer until we get one more meow.
but the amendment that will become CT1 is the one floating around somewhere or the one written?
The one that's in our package today. Thank you. Congress is back in session. Any motion for adoption of CB?
So move.
Any second? It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass CB number 23-05 on first reading. Discussion?
Mr. Speaker, I move to defer tomorrow.
Mr. Speaker, short recess,
Short
please.
recess, short recess.
I think it would be okay for us, according to the legal counsel, for us to act on the proposed amendment and adopt the CD1 version. And then afterwards, the floor leader or anyone could make a motion to defer that bill CD1 to maybe next Congress.
Thank you. So let's go back. Floor leader, would you mind withdrawing your motion? Congress back in session. Floor leader?
Speaker, I move to withdraw my motion.
Second.
If no objection, the motion earlier by the floor leader is now withdrawn.
Mr. Speaker,
Chairman Christian?
Mr. Speaker, I venture to offer on behalf of Speaker Esmond Moses a written amendment, an amendment that has been written and distributed to the members for their review. I so move for its adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the offered floor amendment motion by Chairman Christian be adopted. Discussion?
Question.
No objection. Question has been called for. We will now vote. All those in favor of the offered floor amendment, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. The offered floor amendment by Senator Chairman Christian is now adopted. We now have CB number 23-05 CD1.
Mr. Speaker,
Chairman Christian, you have the
I
floor.
defer to the floor leader.
Floor leader?
Mr. Speaker, I wish to offer floor amendment to CP number 23.
Short recess, short recess.
Short recess. Chief Clerk.
Speaker, while in recess. Yeah, maybe sometime when I open my mouth, then everybody jump in and do all kinds of illegal and not illegal, all kinds of crazy things on my mouth. Not on my mouth, but on what I'm proposing, or what I may be proposing. And I know I had talked with the legal counsel about the issues here, but your offer amendment, Mr. Speaker, is that with some money for the delegation rep fund, and if it is it 30,000 each?
Well, I was hoping that you would have an amendment to that amount.
Is that what is included in your amendment, Mr. Speaker?
No, it's not.
What about these 420 for each for representation funds under the delegation offices? Isn't that what we're talking about here?
Well, I'm sorry, it is included. It went down to 30.
And then on top of that, we're getting another 15,000, 25,000 for speaker, 15,000 for vice speaker, 15,000 for floor leader, and 15,000 for 50,000 to be for sick people like myself, 60,000 for staff travel, and 74,307 for members' additional salary increases, and 11,045 and then increase. So, for the 75,000 for the new members. Is that correct?
For 2 new members.
That's 75 divided by 2 will be
37.5.
37.5 for the rest of the fiscal year. 37.5, and that's been prorated to make it like how much for each month for each member?
Well, if it would be prorated, it would be around 60. 60. 5 months. 60, 70. But we're giving them half for now, and then maybe next session we could find the other half.
I'm just making noise. Okay. Like I said, the more I talk, the more I would give some members ideas, and then they'll jump all over what I've been saying. Thank you.
Thank you. Floor leader, we're good?
Speaker, I just wanted to also say thank you to the good senator from YAP, because when he talks, he also gives me a lot of time to, and readjust things and sort of get things moving on the floor. And at the same time, forgive me, because I once heard that one of the greatest basketball players, or if not the greatest basketball player in the world, he tried and failed 100 times in order to succeed. So, thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Congress is back in session. Floor leader, restate your motion.
Thank you, Speaker. I move for the referment of CP number 2305.
CD1.
CT1.
To tomorrow's calendar.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we defer action on CB number 23-05, CD1, to tomorrow's calendar. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. CB number 23-05 is now deferred. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're now on Congressional Bill Number 23-03, CD1 for second and final reading. CB Number 23-03, CD1 is a bill for an act to further amend Sections 9 and 12 of Public Law Number 22-42 as amended by Public Laws Numbers 22-60, 22-80, 22-103, and 22-141 to modify the use of capital and human resources development funding and change the allotee of such funds previously appropriated therein to fund the operations of the national government of the Federated States of Micronesia for fiscal year September 30th, 2022, and for other purposes.
A motion? And
So
second?
moved, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 23-03, CD1.
CD1.
Discussion?
Mr. Speaker,
Chairman Christian, you have the floor.
I have a floor amendment that's been typed up and distributed, which I earlier referred to as probably not proper for me to have done without consultation. I would need to amend my offered amendment to delete two of the proposed line items. May I ask that you declare a short recess?
Short recess.
Those of you looking at, especially the Pohnpei delegation, looking at the proposed amendment, please cross out Roman numeral 2, where it says Litutunia Road Repair, 50,000, 50, and insert in lieu thereof Pohnpei State Community Roads Improvement, 150,000, and then marker out Roman numeral 3 completely, so that the amendment would only have two. One would be 150,000 for the paving of Hydro Road, paving of Nanpil Road from hydroelectric plant, the Litutunia Road 150, and Roman numeral 2 would be Litutunia, Pohnpei Communities Road Improvement, 150,000. Any questions from my colleagues?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
My hometown.
We're in recess.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Not from the Pohnpei delegation, but then where are the poor yappies going to be taking a bath? I see Litutunia as a place for yappies to.
Take shower, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this particular road, Speaker had been putting money into it for a long time, and we do it piecemeal. And with the rain condition, it continues to erode. So there is currently a project that is being implemented that would repair and coral cap that road from the hydro up to the road leading to Litutunia. And the proposal I'm doing to provide paving money would pave what is a contract that's been awarded.
Speaker, are we still in recess?
We're still in recess.
Okay. So just point of clarification, Senator Christian, The total amount for the Pohnpei State Community Road Improvement Projects would be 150,000.
Yes, it was 300,000, and from there, I have proposed an amendment to spend 150 of that to pave this road, continue the paving of that road to wherever that 150 can take it.
Yeah, the road is pretty bad, and that's where it ends, where the water intake to the Nampumal water treatment plant is located. And I think that's the only access way into that water source.
Okay, I just want to state for the record that I applaud Senator Christian for owning up to the mistake he claims or he allegedly committed by allotting the 300,000 without consulting the rest of the Pohnpei delegates. With all due respect, yes, I think that would have been the proper protocol, but he did allude to that mistake, and I do support the fact that the project, the amount was targeted for, is for a road that obviously needs repair. So whatever amendment that Senator Christian has proposed, I do support that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the comments from Madam Chair Bello. I felt a bit okay in doing that road because the water dam that supplies water to the treatment plant in Nampumal is further distributed to all of Pohnpei. And so I thought that there is some justification in using a statewide designated amount of money to do that particular road, from which service most, if not all, people in Pohnpei take some benefit from.
Okay, so why don't we go back and then you offer your floor amendment? Congress is back in session. We're still in discussion on CB number 23-03 CD1. Chairman Christian.
So, Mr. Speaker, this discussion is between me and the Chief Clerk and ALIC. In the offered amendment that was distributed, the item Roman.
Move. Short recess. Can you move for adoption of the offered amendment, or?
As written and distributed?
And then make an oral amendment to it?
All right, sure.
Okay, let's go back. Congress is back in session. Chairman Christian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the amendment offered by Peter Christian to Congress Bill 2303 CD1.
Any second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt the floor amendment to CB number 23-03 CD1 offered by Chairman Christian. Discussion?
Mr.
Chairman.
Speaker, I would like to offer the following floor amendment to the amendment that I was distributed, sponsored by me. Roman numeral 2, delete the phrase Litutunia Road Repair and insert in lieu thereof Pohnpei State Communities Road Improvement. Delete 50,000, insert 150,000. Roman numeral 3, delete all of that in their entirety. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the offered floor amendment to CB number 23-03 CD1 be orally amended. And if No objection. We will vote on the offered oral amendment. All in favor of the oral amendment to the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. The offered floor amendment to CB number 23-03 CD1 is now amendment. Discussion on the offered floor amendment.
Question?
If no objection, question has been called for. We will now vote on the floor amendment to CB number 23-03 CD1 offered by Chairman Christian. All those in favor of the offered floor amendment say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried. We now have CB number 23-03 CD2. Discussion.
Mr. Speaker,
Floor leader, you have the floor.
I move for the deferment of CP number 23-03 CD1 to tomorrow's session.
CD2.
Is it CD2? CD2,
Any second?
tomorrow.
Second, Mr. Speaker.
It's been moved and seconded that CB number 23-03 CD2 be deferred to tomorrow's calendar. No objection, we will vote. All those in favor of the said motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried. CB number 23-03 CD2 is now deferred to tomorrow's calendar.
Short
Next.
recess.
Short recess.
Mr. Speaker, what I have here is not, what should I say, consistent to what everybody knows? Because I have here 23-03 CD1. Is it just me, or is it just,
It was
am I
CD1.
voting?
It was CD1 that was placed today, but because Chairman Christian made the
An
amendment,
It
and then it
became
becomes a
CD2.
CD2?
then it became CD2.
Oh, you guys didn't tell me that. Just kidding.
The buck stops at your desk.
Yes, sir.
Speaker, why in recess? We're in recess, correct?
Yes, we're in recess.
I was looking at one that we've already adopted, an amendment on page 4, the line pertaining to YAP, line 11 and 12. I just want a legal definition of this word, maintenance. Does it mean old things, or can it include new things? For example, to be clear, can we have part of this money used to construct or build a new road when it only says
No,
YAP roads maintenance
And improvement.
and improvement?
I believe it will be interpreted by our good friends over at TCNI as improvements of existing roads.
But then it's the same department that is, if they have not, the day before yesterday, I was informed that they were standing on the edge or at the line where they would sign off on a contract to build a new road. So what I'm getting at, Mr. Speaker, and with our legal staff, is to know if maintenance means of old roads, and if YAP, in its own wisdom, build new roads with this money, I will take them to court.
I would recommend that if each of the states want to expand the use of that fund, that the word construction be inserted as one of the potential uses. Construction, maintenance, and repair.
But as is chairman, doesn't mean new roads, right? Correct?
No, as it is now, maintenance is existing road,
I rather it stays the same as is. So they won't build new roads to heaven or somewhere.
Thank you.
Speaker, for the state of Pohnpei, that is a problem that the delegation faces often, is the request for new roads to be built when we're now unable to upkeep, maintain, or repair existing roads.
Okay, let's go back. Congress is back in session. Chief Clerk, next bill.
Mr. Speaker, as of now, we do not have any more bills.
Next item.
Resolution Calendar, none, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 21, introduction of bills and resolutions, Mr. Speaker.
If you have any measures to introduce, please pass them up to Chief Clerk. Next item.
Miscellaneous business, Mr. Speaker, for item 22.
Any miscellaneous business?
Short recess?
Short recess.
Mr. Speaker, I believe we had some resolutions yesterday, but I was wondering what actions are we going to take on those?
We can work on them tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Congress is back in session.
Mr. Speaker,
Chairman Christian, you have the floor.
I just like listening to myself speak, so let me just do something in miscellaneous. We spoke about two $500,000 monies earlier. One was the one that would go to Palau, and one was the one that went into some escrow account. So where have those discussions taken us, or are there new findings on the fate of those two $500,000 money?
Chairman, Vice Speaker, the then Chairman of JNGO, I believe you had some hearings on
Yes.
that.
Thank
Care
you,
to-
Mr. Speaker. If I can help, on the 500 to Palau, the last hearing we have, the Secretary of Finance told us that he will go back and see whose money is it. Was it FSM money or Palau? Because according to TOJ during the hearing, they weren't negotiating on behalf of Palau, therefore that money is ours. But the FSM being the host country to the ship, the vessel that was registered, we are still obligated to pay the 500 penalty to Palau. So that's where we stand on that 500. If he comes back and say it's for Palau, then we will have to find a way to remit that money either by appropriating or authorizing the transmittal of that money from the surveillance revolving fund to Palau. On the other 500 for the purchase of the vessel that was put in the escrow account, we were advised, and I believe we did what we were advised to make amendments to that 500 so it can be available to use. And we have passed that amendment on that bill, and I is awaiting the signature by the President on that bill that we passed last session. Thank you.
I guess I'm just a bit confused as to, in the first place, why was the money put into escrow and not into the general fund?
I believe, Mr. Speaker, I believe what we were advised by both DOJ and Finance was it's an advice from the court to put it in escrow account until the case was resolved, which it was resolved, and the payment of from the appropriation of the purchase vessel was made. And with this additional 500, the amendment was also made that we will use that 500 for the provisioning and the dry docking of the vessel. So it was the advice of the court to put that money in the escrow.
Was that satisfactory, Chairman Christian?
Well, so it's getting a little bit there, but why did it end up with the court? Why do we continue to allow the court to decide for the executive and for the legislative body? We seem to be giving away a lot of decisions to the court. But yes, Mr. Speaker, I'll stop there.
Okay. Any more miscellaneous business? Chairman Rusman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Just a note of caution to those who aspire to become president in the future, president of the Federated States of Micronesia. Sitting here in this chamber is different than when you are over there in that awesome office of the president. When you're here, you are among 14 members, and you have 13 other members to support, advise, criticize,
Consult.
and help you. When you are over there, as I said yesterday, the buck stops at the top. It's very lonely. It's very difficult position to be in. So when you're here and aspiring to become president, think about the weight of that office when you, and if you do become a president of the nation. As I also said yesterday, we've gone 7 days, I believe, 8 days into our session, and there has hardly any communications from across, except for the 1, 2, 3, 4 or communications we received in our package this morning. So I know the burden of that office is pushing down heavy on our current president, and I again offer for those of us that have been there and back, our whatever penny's worth of advice, if it is deemed that it can help. For the past some years, when we go through reorganization of the national government, where we elected presidents, vice president, and officers of the Congress, this is the first May session that I've noticed there has hardly been anything communicated from across, including recommendations, suggestions, communication relating to what budget we're going to be having hearings on, and for education and health, complete before May 30, where we need to adopt a resolution authorizing the president to submit something to the United States of America. I hope and I understand the president has been very busy with officials from our overseas embassies and offices. And I hope with the time that has been spent meeting with these people and other people, that soon we will be overwhelmed with so many communications from across. But for your Education Committee, Committee on Education, we've decided to start public hearings on the budget, as External Affairs did, beginning on Tuesday next week with the college, and on Thursday NTOE. And if this Congress is still in session, we will attempt to make our recommendation to the body of this Congress by May 30, next May 30. I don't know if that's next week or the following week. And I hope we will see some nominations during this session before we adjourn sine die on the 30th or even before that. So thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I make this not as a criticism of the current administration, but my understanding of the overwhelming weight that has been put on the current administration. And I wonder why every morning when I'm sitting at my desk here, my flag is always upside down. I hope nobody has been playing magic or doing something to where I sit. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you much. Thank you very much, Chairman Rusmal, and for the statement. And I do encourage the chairs of the committees to work hard on completing the budget so that we may have a consolidated one prepared and passed by the end of the fiscal year.
Good.
Mr. Speaker,
Yeah, Chairman Rusmal, and then
Yeah, it was here and then it disappeared, but on a lighter note or on a more important note, on the trip that was proposed to have our president travel next week for the signing of the amendments to the amended compact. I've heard from a little bird that came visiting this chamber and our offices that that trip has been postponed, canceled, due to cancellation of a trip from somewhere else. And as indicated by a few of us, one of us, I also wish that we had offered Paliker as a place to sign off on the amendment to the amended compact. Either Paliker, I don't know what the name of the capital in Majuro, or the one in Palau, but any one of these three places would have been ideal. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
thank you. To update you on that issue, to Palau and the FSM were scheduled to be in Port Moresby because of the presence of that person. And that person is no longer there, and the FSM has canceled that trip. And the signing will be sometime next week, I believe, here in Palican. Chairman Christian?
yes, Mr. Speaker, because my colleague had alluded to those of you who have been there and back, I have a feeling he was referring to me too. So I want to agree with most of the criticism that Senator Rusmal former President Rusmal has directed at President Simina this morning. But I wish to differ with him on this one point. The President, while now there's no one, appoints his cabinet members to advise him on a daily basis and has many assistants and consultants to help provide him the necessary thinking tools to balance off his work. So I'm sort of looking forward to receiving President Simina's list of nominees so that Congress can start its own review and either give its consent or lack of consent, so we can move forward with a more fully staffed cabinet.
Thank you, Chairman Christian. Any more miscellaneous business? If none, next item, Chief Clerk.
Announcements for item 23, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Welly, any announcement? Madam Chair Abelio Alfonso, any announcement?
None, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Arzus. Chairman Christian.
Mr. Speaker, your committee charged with resources and development for FSM would like to meet with the R&D department, its current head and lead staff, Monday at 8:30, if it does not conflict with any already announced hearings. There will be no subject matter, no detailed review of budget, just a get-together to get to know the people currently in charge of our Department of R&D. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Members of the Committee on Resources and Development, please take note. Madam Chair.
No announcement, thank you.
Chairman Rusmal.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As I indicated during my miscellaneous business, your Committee on Education will meet on Tuesday at its allocated time, beginning after the session, maybe 12:30, and to 2:30. But if no committee is meeting, then we can continue with the College of Micronesia FSM until we're done. To meet with the new president, I understand there is a new one, and to talk about oversight matters as well as the grant that had been approved by previous Congress relating to the establishment of the vocational school in Metalanim. Then on Thursday, again at our allocated time, meet with NTOE to meet again with the current employees of the department as well as the consultant of that department on matters of oversight as well as the school in Metalanim and the programs and projects that they have been given funding to complete, including teacher training, school accreditations, the other programs that they have been given money to undertake. So that will be on Thursday at our allocated time. We will also discuss with the NTOE the status of the school in Metalanim and the status of all vocational education programs in the 4 states, Department of Education. So all members are encouraged to attend. we have yet to reorganize or organize, pending a list from Chief Clerk Office as to the members of your Committee on Education. So with that, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. That's the small announcement, but rather long one for your Committee on Education. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Usman.
Mr. Speaker, before you call on Floor Leader, I'd like to make a request to Chairman of E. In their meeting with the college, particularly the land grant program, Pohnpei State is the state, I think, in the Federation that considers pigs as important part of our livelihood. If the program could consider bringing in a vet to Pohnpei and also to improve the land grant services extended to farmers in Pohnpei without farmers coming in to beg for their help. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Christian. Floor Leader, any announcement?
None.
Vice Speaker, any announcement?
None, none.
Thank you. Floor Leader, your
Thank you, Speaker. I move that Congress stands in recess until tomorrow morning.
Second.
It's been moved and second that Congress stands in recess until tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning. All those in favor of the said motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Congress stands in recess until 10 a.m. tomorrow.